I am privileged to be joined today by three outstanding students who made the difficult choice to choose the documentary route for their final second year project. Hi.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourselves?
I'm Sophia.
I'm Violet.
I'm Zach. Hi. Good to see you. Thanks for joining me in the studio for this candid interview. I've got a range of questions on my question card, and we'll see how we go on. Question one. Oh, I just can't explain the music. Question one. Zach, can you tell us briefly what your documentary is about?
So my documentary is about the challenges that non-league football clubs, specifically a local team called Brockton, face financially. So Brockton have no money, no budget, and they operate like that and are able to be successful like that. And I've looked into how they've been able to do that and also documented their promotion push this season.
Okay, super, thank you. Sophia, can you tell me what your documentary is about?
My documentary is about the impacts on those affected by the infected blood scandal, just how it affects those who work professionally, those families, including relatives of my own.
And Violet?
My documentary is on radicalisation of young people through social media. So I've looked into things like the algorithm, people like Andrew Tate, and like how their brand has influenced young people through social media.
Okay, brilliant. Three very different documentaries. Can you tell me a little bit about what inspired you to make your documentary?
I was inspired by like the rise of young people who vote Reform UK and the things that they view on social media, like Trump's like MAGA fans and things like that really took my interest in it, and the ongoing case with Andrew Tate in Romania and his charges for sex trafficking and that.
Okay, thank you. Sophia?
A lot of my inspiration came just because of my dad and hearing those stories be told to me growing up. I always thought you don't hear about it, you hear very briefly about it, so I thought it'd be a good, unique topic to delve into and explore.
Okay, thank you. And Zach?
Well, I got inspiration when I started volunteering at Brockton, and it was there where I kind of discovered that, well, they don't have any money, and that's something that really interested me. And obviously with further research and the more and more I've met people at the club and worked with them, I became more and more interested in the subject that they've able to be successful while having no money in comparison to a lot of clubs around them that are spending quite a lot of money.
Okay, brilliant. The next question that I'm going to ask you is about challenges that you face while making these documentaries. So, Sophia, can you get us started with that? Have you faced many challenges when making your documentary?
I think all in all it's not been ridiculously hard, but a lot of the main challenge for me, I'd say, would be the access. There's not many resources to look through research-wise. There's not a handful of people you can talk to. The main people who talk about it are either victims or support workers. It's not a super openly spoken about subject, so it took a bit of digging to sort of pull together who and what I'm going to talk about in interview.
Okay, thank you. Violet, same question.
I was able to get a lot of access to the people around me through my mum. She has a lot of contacts in communication, so I was able to get some people from her work to talk with. But some of my other contacts, like the Staffordshire Police, fell through because they weren't able to do interviews, and as well the University of Wolverhampton never got back to me after I reached out a few times, so I faced a lot of troubles with that. And as well, the production was fine, but I've come to the stage in editing where I've had a few hiccups, but I've been able to fix them.
Okay, and Zach?
Mine's similar to Sophia in the sense of there's not much content for me to find online, so a lot of the research I've had to do is primary, is through interviewing people, and obviously it's kind of difficult to try and make a documentary about something that you're learning while you're filming it. So a lot of the challenges that I faced are trying to build this narrative while also conducting these interviews and finding those people to be interviewed has also been difficult. So I've been really really thankful that I've had help from Gary Hazelhurst at Brockton, who's got a lot better knowledge and a lot of contacts in non-league football, he's been really able to put me in touch with the right people and speak to these people who, frankly, I would never have been able to speak to without his help.
Okay, super. What positive experiences, like personal experiences, do you feel that you've had on this route, and how have they pushed you to be more confident or more, technically capable? Zach, I'll start with you on that.
I've really enjoyed interviewing people, so creating questions to speak to them and actually speaking with these people in person, or whether that be through a Teams meeting. I think I've really grown more confident, and as it's something that I wish to pursue in the future. More and more as I've done this route, I've realised I really do enjoy speaking to people, because obviously I'm aware I want to be a journalist, but beforehand that was more behind the camera, more print-based. But the more and more I conduct interviews with people, it's made me kind of realise I actually do enjoy maybe being on camera and speaking to people. So that's something that I think has really improved. Same with some of my technical skills, such as camera work, setting up shots and having to do it quickly, because some of these people you're interviewing, they don't have lots of time to sit around while you mess with the camera. And also as well, one of the big ones for me has been filming football matches. So that was a big learning curve, filming live on site while the games are going on. And I've done it 3 times now, and I feel we've gotten better each and every time.
Brilliant, thank you. Violet?
I'm quite similar to Zach in the sense that I struggled a lot of my confidence previously in talking to people, but I've had quite a positive experience through reaching out to people I normally wouldn't reach out to, like our local MP Liam. I usually wouldn't reach out and ask for an interview with someone who has such a high position like she does, but I found that I really do enjoy reaching out to people as well as creating the story and not just learning about it through other articles.
Okay, brilliant, thank you.
Mine's also a very similar answer. I'd say I used to think that when people had access to these interviews and these other people, that it was like it's because they're like a big person and stuff. It all seemed very out of reach. I think a positive experience would be definitely shooting my shot, emailing people, having some rejections, but realising that it's not as hard as you might think it is to get in connection with these people. I was able to speak with Samantha May from the Hep C Trust. We emailed back and forth. She even asked to send me the full documentary when I was done. She's all the way down in London. She's been there for like decades now. So I was quite proud of myself to know that I can get in contact with people who I thought were way out of my reach or too professional in a sense.
Yeah, brilliant. That's really good to hear. Like, I'm so proud of what you guys have done with your documentaries. Like, you've all seen the challenge and properly risen to it. So well done. Not everybody does that, and it's really pleasing to see. What impact are you hoping that your documentary will have on this audience? How would you like them to read your documentary? Sophia?
I think mine relies more on the emotional stance of showing the severity of the situation, showing the real life impact from a lot of different angles. But I'd like it to finish or end with like a resounding message of hope, that there is support groups now, there is new medications that are a lot less harsh. It's not as stigmatized as it once was. I'd like to be able to push that message and show that it is a lot easier to overcome than people believe it to be.
Thank you, Violet.
I like for my audience to learn about what impact radicalisation has on young people through the people I've spoken to, and like what advice they've given me for people, and like to understand it from the perspective of people who aren't in it, like people who aren't being radicalised online or in person.
Okay, thank you. Zach?
I mean, I don't feel that my documentary is as topical or deep as both of your documentaries, but I think that my aim really was to kind of also raise awareness into the kind of money that's thrown around in the lower leagues of England. It's not something you particularly expect, because in the professional game, money is a very big thing, but you think amateur levels, it's quite, nothing. But the fact is that there's a lot of money being spent, but not everybody's doing that. You know, like Brockton aren't spending any money, and that's something that I think is such a big achievement, and raising that kind of awareness for a club like that, for a club that has shown me so much respect and been so helpful and kind, I think is something that I'd like to be able to give back to them after what they've all done for me.
Yeah, brilliant, thank you. I asked you at the very start of the B2 project to pick a route that you wanted to do, which all three of you are on the route you wanted to do, and I asked you to pick a backup route in case you couldn't do that route. So my final question is, are you happy with the route that you chose, and why compared to what the alternative would have been? Zach, do you want to get started?
I'm definitely happy with the route I picked. That may be with hindsight after how some of the other team-based routes have gone, but my second choice would have been the live TV route, which I do think could have been a lot of fun, depending on the people I would have been working with. But working on my own means that I've been able to check myself. So if I'm behind, it's my own fault. Whereas maybe in a team-based route, that may not have been the case. But I feel that the documentary has allowed me to pursue something that I am interested in. Whereas maybe a live TV route couldn't have done that because it's something that maybe all four of you or five of you are supposed to be interested in. Whereas with this, it's something solely that I want to do.
Okay, thank you. Harlan?
I'm happy that I chose the documentary route in the end because it is more suited to what I want to do in the future at university and in a career. I feel like if I had done the TV route, you wouldn't have had as much control over what the theme was or how you could do something. But with the independent route, you can do it how you want, and there's no one to criticise you, which is a big thing for me.
Okay, thank you. Sophia?
I'm really glad that I ended up on the documentary route. I think I like it because I like to look into things and meet people and get to be proactive about something that I care about and something that I feel about. And with the social media being my other option, I did think to myself that a lot of it is sort of behind the scenes work and just scheduling and posting posts, which is still like a good option, but I like being able to go out and meet people and get all my equipment set up and really like investigate stuff. It gives me something to focus on, and it's my own little niche thing. So I'm really happy and I've enjoyed it as well.
Okay, brilliant. And thank you for taking time out of your projects today to come and join me with this. I wish you the best of luck with the time you've got left. And yeah, I think that's a wrap. That's been the documentary route. Documentary route. Done. Thank you guys.
Success.
Thank you to